The Sacramento Kings are back. After missing the playoffs for the 16th straight year in 2022, the Kings have taken the league by storm and are currently third in the West with a record of 43-29. The Kings this year have surprised everyone, including myself. I knew that they were going to be definitely better than last year, but they've taken it to a way different level. But despite Sacramento's fantastic season, most people think they'll get ran through in the playoffs. People like Gilbert Arenas, Stephen A. Smith, and your average intelligent basketball Twitter user think that the Kings will get absolutely smoked in the first round, and that anybody who plays them, it'll be a cakewalk to the second round. So, after all the Kings have done this season, should you start taking the Sacramento Kings seriously, or are they just an easy first round matchup? How's it going, my friend? I'm Alexander from Load Management Media, and let's talk about it. Despite the Kings' achievement this year, all the offseason acquisitions they've made, and the improvements they've clearly made this season, everybody's saying they're just gonna get smacked around in the first round. As I mentioned before, guys like Gilbert Arenas, Stephen A. Smith, and most of the basketball community on Twitter are saying that the Kings are not very good. But have they seriously forgotten all the Kings have went through this season? Well, if they have, let's give them a reminder. This year, the Kings went from a mediocre 12th seed last year, just not very good, to a 3 seed this year that looks incredible offensively, the best offense in the league, and they're winning games. The Kings are winning games. And this is after hiring a new coach in Mike Brown in the offseason, having one of your franchise cornerstones in Sabonis only be there for a few months last year and this offseason, and adding a bunch of new acquisitions like Malik Monk, Keegan Murray, and Kevin Huerter, and they've fit in seamlessly and the Kings have looked great. The Kings have the number one offense in the league with an offensive rating of 119.5, led by Sabonis and Fox with shooters all around. Fox has been incredible this season, leading the league in clutch scoring, and his whole game has just been taken to a new level. It seems like Fox's decision making has reached that elite level. He knows when to pass, he knows when to score, and now he knows when to take over games. It seems like the first 3 quarters, he does his thing. He just kind of sees where the game is going, and then fourth quarter, most times he just takes over. About 65% of the time, that results in a Kings win. That's pretty damn impressive. And you can't forget about his crime partner, Sabonis. Mini Jokic, mini Arvydas Sabonis, his dad. Anyway, he's looked unbelievable. Everything the Kings offense does runs through Sabonis. He sets screens, he can pass the ball, he can score, and on the other side of the ball, his defense is actually a lot better than you would think. I wouldn't say he's actually a liability anymore. In fact, he may even be an asset. Their offseason acquisitions have been great as well and fit in like it was nothing. Malik Monk has provided a valuable piece of bench scoring. Kevin Huerter has fit in and spaced the court unbelievably well for the Kings, the best he's ever done in his career. And Keegan Murray has just been another piece that can hop right in, shoot the ball at an extremely high level, and play some defense when the Kings need him to. And although the Kings defense is, they give up like almost the most points in the league, they know when to get key and timely stops. And that's the difference between a high-powered offense like the Kings and a high-powered offense like the Portland Trail Blazers. So, I've listed all this great stuff about the Kings, but why is everybody saying they're going to be so easy to beat come playoff time? Well, the Kings by the numbers are a team that plays in transition a lot. According to Cleaning the Glass, the Kings have the 5th lowest percentage in the half court in the league at 78.3%. And according to NBA.com, the Kings have the highest transition offense percentage at 20.4 and the second most points per game in transition at 25 a game. And you're probably asking me, it's good to get out in transition, is it not? You get easy points and they're just the most efficient shots. Well, that is true, but come playoff time, the game really shrinks down and it's more half-court oriented. So looking at a team that has a much higher transition percentage and scores a lot more in transition, that team might not be as good come playoff time when the defenses shrink and the offenses get a bit more tightened up. Of course, I mentioned before, the Kings' defense is also very bad. Yes, they can get timely stops, which has helped them in the regular season, but collectively, that poor defense at large stretches this year might come back to bite them come playoff time. And the big one that a lot of people have been talking about around the NBA circle is the matchup that they could end up facing in the first round. Teams like the Warriors, Mavs, Lakers, even the Timberwolves, fully healthy, would have not been a 7 or 8 seed. They're like fake 7 or 8 seeds. So if the Kings happen to play them in the first round, this might be a tougher matchup according to a lot of people. And if these teams are fully healthy, it could be tough. Of course, the Kings are also very young, and many of their key players have never played a playoff game before. De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, and Keegan Murray, 3 key players there, have never touched a playoff court, so that's not going to bode well for them. And as a team, they've never been to the playoffs collectively, so that could be a problem. Well, the question is, what do I think? Are the Kings really serious? Well, the Kings are definitely a lot more serious than people are giving them credit for, that's for sure. I think this year, just the way that the West is structured, it's definitely matchup based on how far you could go. But I think that the Kings are going to be a lot better and give teams a lot more trouble than everybody's saying, like they're just going to get walked over in the first round. That's not going to happen. Honestly, the Kings have about as much potential to beat everybody as everybody else. They have a high-powered offense. They have 2 star guys that can really cause teams problems. So there's no reason why they can't be the surprise of the playoffs, even if they're the 2 seed. Realistically, though, they're a second-round exit, but that would be pretty incredible for the Kings, considering the way these last 16 years have gone. Even to just sniff the playoffs would be a massive achievement for them, and that's what's going to happen for them. It's clear, the Sacramento Kings are a team you should start taking more seriously, and they could end up being the surprise team of this entire playoffs. We'll wait and see. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see some more consistent NBA content talking about all kinds of different players, teams, and situations in the league, then this is the place for you. I try to put out at least one new piece of NBA content a week, so if that interests you, consider hitting a like and a sub. And as always, stay rested. See you in the next one.